Translating poetry from one language to another is a challenging task. It is like reshaping a sculpture in a different material or unraveling a silk tapestry to weave it anew with different threads. While the original form and meaning may shift, some elements are inevitably lost, yet new dimensions may also be discovered. Language is the cornerstone of human communication, the primary tool through which we express thoughts, share ideas, and connect with one another. Beyond its role as a means of interaction, language fundamentally shapes how we perceive the world and structure our thoughts. Poetry, as one of the highest forms of language, captures emotions, experiences, and reflections that transcend time and culture. It allows us to glimpse the heart of a civilization and connect with the human experience across centuries. In essence, language not only enables communication, but also determines how humans think, influencing our understanding of reality and guiding the way we interpret our experiences. Ancient Chinese poetry, in particular, embodies this dual power of language and thought, offering wisdom and beauty that remain relevant even today. In this series, we will explore the masterpieces of Tang Dynasty poetry, uncovering their historical and cultural significance. Let us embark on this journey to appreciate the elegance of classical Chinese poetry and how its beauty transcends linguistic boundaries. In the introduction to the Jade Mountain, Binner recounts his discovery of Chinese poetry as a profound and transformative experience. Like many educated in the Western world, his early literary understanding was shaped by the dual influences of Greek and Hebrew traditions, the former characterized by its symmetry and objectivity, the latter by its intensity and emotional depth. Yet, his chance encounter with Chinese poetry revealed what he described as a new, finer, and deeper education, one that transcended these familiar paradigms. Chinese poetry, Binner discovered, is uniquely intertwined with daily life. Unlike in the West, where poetry often resides within academic or artistic circles, Chinese poetry lives in the hearts of the people. It is etched on mountain rocks during temple climbs, heard in the street cries of peddlers, and reflected in the names of tea houses. This universal accessibility, he notes, allows poetry to be both a personal and collective experience, a connection between nature, beauty, and the human spirit. Binner also admired the intellectual and emotional balance Chinese poetry embodies, a quality Ku Hongming described as the head of a man and the heart of a child. He believed this harmony is what sustains the vitality of Chinese culture and its poetry through centuries of change. For Binner, this spirit represents a profound understanding of the natural world and human relationships, achieved with a rare simplicity and sincerity. He further observed that Chinese poets maintain an unparalleled connection to reality. Unlike Western poets, who often use exaggeration or fantasy, Chinese poets embrace the world as it is, finding beauty in its most ordinary moments. Their metaphors are seamlessly integrated into the narrative, enhancing rather than distracting from the essence of the poem. Binner marveled at the unique characteristics of Chinese poetry, contrasting its grounded and harmonious approach with the operatic tendencies of Western traditions. He predicted that Western poets would one day look to the Tang Dynasty masters for inspiration, learning to blend their timeless simplicity with the artistic grandeur of other literary traditions. Ultimately, Binner recognized that poetry, more than any other art form, belongs to everyone. It is a deeply personal expression, carried in one's heart or in the compact form of written verse. For him, Chinese poetry exemplified this intimacy, connecting the enduring beauty of the natural world with the immediacy of human experience. Let's begin with a poem titled A Night Mooring Near Maple Bridge, written by the Tang Dynasty poet Zhang Ji in the year 756. This seven-character quatrain vividly expresses the poet's longing for his hometown after being displaced. Zhang Ji composed this masterpiece during his time in Suzhou, where he sought refuge following the outbreak of the Anxi Rebellion in 755. The rebellion marked the end of the Tang Dynasty's 137 years of brilliance during its peak. Although the rebellion was eventually quelled, the Tang Dynasty never recovered its former glory. During this tumultuous period, Emperor Xuanzong fled to Sichuan, and Zhang Ji, along with many other scholars, escaped to the regions of modern-day Jiangsu and Zhejiang to avoid the chaos. The poem captures not only the serene beauty of a night in displacement, but also the deep melancholy of being far from home. While I watch the moon go down, a crow caws through the frost. Under the shadows of maple trees, a fisherman moves with his torch. And I hear, from beyond Suzhou, from the temple on Cold Mountain, ringing for me, here in my boat, the midnight bell. This poem, written by Zhang Ji, captures the solitude of a traveler moored near Maple Bridge outside Suzhou. The imagery of the setting moon, cawing crows, and frosty air evokes a quiet melancholy. The Cold Mountain Temple, with its midnight bell, symbolizes spiritual solace amidst the beauty of nature. Zhang Ji's poem, though written centuries ago, remains timeless in its emotional resonance and poetic simplicity. Tang Dynasty poetry often reflects the profound connection between humanity and nature. In this poem, the fisherman's torch and the temple's bell remind us of life's balance between human activity and spiritual reflection. Such poetry transcends the boundaries of time and language, inviting us to experience both the struggles and beauty of life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Tang poetry. What emotions does this poem evoke in you? Have you experienced a moment of quiet reflection like the poet did? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and let's explore more Tang poetry together in the next episode.